All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Straight Shooting. I am Mad Matt Carter, and I am thrilled to have the man, Handsome Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man, Valiant, is here with us today. Jimmy Valiant, thank you so much for doing this. This is a thrill for me.
Woo, Mr. Boogie Woogie Man, I feel good, man. I'll tell you something. Hey, I'm honored, brother, to do this with you. You know, hey, I'll tell you something, man. Hey, people, this man right here, I'm a big fan of his, baby. Hey, before I get out of here, I want your autograph. I want to take a picture with you, bad man. Hey, this is the deal right here. This is what's happening. You know, hey, Boogie Woogie Man started wrestling in 1964, baby. Hey, that's almost 58. Yeah, 58 years ago. I don't know. I can't add. I only went to 7th grade, brother, man. Hey, only thing kept me out of Band. Only thing kept me out of college was high school, you understand?
Right.
But, hey, anyway, hey, I wrestled 60 years, whatever it was, and hey, I want to tell you something, man. This cat right here, he's got the baddest, the hottest show right here, man, in the nation, man. So, hey, anytime you see something going on with Bad Matt, hey, I want to be part of it, man.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. That coming from you means a lot to me, Boogie, because you know I'm one of your biggest fans. And a little inside baseball here. I know you've signed millions of autographs throughout the years. You were the first wrestler I met in person that I'd seen on TV that signed an autograph for me in Martinsville, Virginia in 1990. You were set up in front of Walmart that day. And I have the Polaroid that I forgot to bring in. I wanted to show it to you. I was a lot thinner and a lot smaller then. You still look great.
Oh, brother, man. Yeah, hey, can you imagine? Hey, I ain't been to bed since 1956, man. Hey, can you imagine? You know, Bobby Heenan, God bless him, man. He's up in the sky, up there in the ring up in the sky, brother, man. But, you know, he says, you know, hey, Boogie, he says, you know, if I felt better, man, you know, I should have took better care of myself. I thought I was going to live this long, and he always said, I already teased him, you know, because man, he liked the booze, and what we all did years ago, and of course, and I said, you know, Bobby, you're so cool, you know, and you're so witty and so quick, man, and he could do everything, man. Hey, you know, people just know him, the younger ones know him just by a commentator, and other ones know him by a manager, Nick Bockwinkel, the brain Bobby Heenan. And hey, I knew him as Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan, my manager. You know, I was Handsome Jimmy. And then, hey, before that, he wrestled. And he could do it all. He could do everything, you know. But I said, Bobby, you're so sharp, you're so witty, and you know, I'm just teasing him. And I said, man, can you imagine if you didn't do all that booze every night, man? You know, because your brain cells, that kills them and everything else. But especially the alcohol. Guys, can you imagine how sharp you'd be? Hey, I'm telling you, I was his biggest fan because he could do it all. He was one of the greatest ever, man. Man, you know, brother. Yeah. But yeah, hey, myself too, brother. If I knew I was going to live this long, I'm 80 years old, brother. Yeah. If I knew I'd live this long, you know, hey, brother, hey, I'd take better care of myself. In fact, hey, last year I had my last match, you know, with this corporation here, you know,
I wasn't here for that one. I was at a NASCAR race in Virginia. I wasn't able to be here for that, and I've hated it. You know, I knew that was going to be your last match, and I wasn't able to make it, and it just kills me that I was not here to see that.
I tell you, you know, Diesel, man, I tell you, Rick Diesel, what a promoter, what a performer. He wrestled. Yeah. He's like Bobby Heenan. He did it all, you know, and now he's got one of the hottest organizations going, you know, yesterday, and I'm just honored to be part of that, and just, you know what I want to do, Matt, is just be a goodwill ambassador for professional wrestling.
Oh, I think you do a great job of that.
I went out this morning already, bro. I got up this morning at 11 o'clock. I'm talking about before midnight.
Oh, okay.
I got up. You understand? I don't know when I went to bed, but I got up at 11 o'clock to start my day. Yeah, and I ain't been to sleep since because we had to go at the Hickory, and we were with a toy show, a card show, from NASCAR, and baseball cards, and then they had me and Baby Doll and Captain Joe, George South, #1 George South, and they had Big M. We were all there signing autographs, and they had other celebrities, baseball celebrities, and it was real good. But the thing was, we were there from 9 this morning till 3 or 4, I don't know, and we came straight here. And brother, I'm here sitting in the hot seat, brother, with my brother here, right here now. And yes, sir, having a good time.
It's great. Well, let's go back to the beginning. Boogie, how old were you, and where were you at when you first saw wrestling? And what do you remember about that?
Well, hey, like anybody else, of course, when I was a kid, we got our TV in 1950, which was, I was born in 42, so I was 8 years old. And 1950, man, and wrestling came on real late, and at that time, my mom wouldn't let me stay up that late.
Right.
But finally, I figured it out, man. How it started with the wrestling and all that, because my buddies are telling me about it and all that. So I'd start going over and staying all night, Saturday night or something with them, so I could get to watch wrestling, and I couldn't keep my eyes open. But boy, when that wrestling came on, I was like this, man. And that was the network, that went all over. It was one station, went all over the country, brother, man. And I enjoyed that. And they brought in, every Vince McMahon, everybody sent in, their big stars, Valentine, and they had Chief Don Ego, how I remember, and they, it's just. Such a great group of guys, and it just floored me, man.
Yeah. Was that the Dumont Network out of Chicago?
Yeah, it sure was.
Okay.
Exactly. It's exactly what it was, and that was the only thing, And Gorgeous George, man, I seen him. It blew me away, and in fact, he came out to music. Bad man, and I says, wow, man, and he did so much, and he. He strutted around, but boy, when the bell rang, he still did a little strutting and that, but he could really wrestle.
Yeah.
He could really wrestle, and I took a lot of stuff like that, from him, and I heard that Muhammad Ali, say he took a lot, from the wrestlers, for his thing, and
boy, that worked too.
Oh, it worked. Oh my goodness, didn't it? Though.
Yeah.
And then Tyson. They interviewed Tyson, and they when WWE had him, do a referee a match and put him in the Hall of Fame and everything, and they had a Q&A, and they asked him, says, how did you get into wrestling? He said, well, me and my sister, we watched it when we were small kids in New York, and he says, I remember the Bruno Sammartino and the Valiant brothers, and that's with me and Johnny, and so that must have been 73, 74, and he was just coming up, and before he even started, of course, boxing and everything. But
how flattering is that when you hear somebody like that say?
Unbelievable. It's great, and because I got mine from someone, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. And then someone else gets someone else with something from everybody else. And then here's the thing, what I was going to say is Gorgeous George came out to music.
Yeah.
And one time, I forgot about all that. So I'm in New York, like 1970, Madison Square Garden, and Ernie Ross, the Grand Wizard, he's managing me, and they brought in Beautiful Bobby, not Beautiful Bobby Eaton. This was Beautiful Bobby Harmon, the original Beautiful Bobby. And they teamed me, Handsome Jimmy, just before Luscious Johnny, my brother, and the Grand Wizard's manager. And he remembers, he says, man, I got something. This is going to be different. He says, let's come out to music, So they talked to Vince McMahon. And
this is Vince McMahon Senior, just for our younger fans.
The Vince McMahon you see today, and God bless him. But we're talking about his father. I worked for his father all in the 70s.
Yeah.
1971 and 70, 71. Then I came back 4 years in 73, 4, 5, whatever it was, and then 78 and 9. So I come back, and then he passed on. So because he told me to come back every 4 years, and whatever he told you, you took it to the bank, brother.
Right.
He was that cool, and I just loved him. But Ernie says, man, you remember he came out to music and Gorgeous George, and I do remember. I remember that, but he remembered it. See,
right?
And his suggestion, and he talked to the big boss, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So they came out, and it got over. And then when I left, we forgot about it. So then when I went to Memphis real fast, now nobody's using that music.
Yeah.
Nobody. So now it's like 1978, and I'm in Memphis against Lawler and Jimmy the Heart, the Snakes there, managing, and he was in the music. He was one of the Gentry. They had a #1 hit, man. Keep on Dancing, the Gentrys, and him and Lawler went to school together.
Did they? I did not know that.
The same high school in Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow.
But now Jimmy was 2 years ahead of Lawler.
Okay.
And they knew each other, but they didn't. Knew of each other.
Right.
Because no one was a star, but Jimmy was, because he won that Ted Mack original amateur hour.
Yeah.
And when you win that for the whole year by votes. And they did, the Gentrys did, all high school kids in Memphis, man. And they won.
I was going to say, the Gentry's thing happened while Jimmy was still in high school.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah.
Sure. They were all teenagers, and the deal was you get a contract. You go to a studio, cut that one record each side. The other side was Cinnamon Girl, and then Keep on Dancing, and that went all the way. And you got a shot in a movie, which they did, and they went on tour. One tour, and Stephen Wolf was on the tour, the star, and he had the Magic Carpet Ride. That was hot then. And anyway,
I love that song to this day. It never gets old.
Oh man! So Jimmy Hart says, let's do a record with you, Handsome. I was Handsome Jimmy then, not the Boogie Woogie.
Yeah.
Handsome Jimmy, and I was a heel there in Memphis. And
we're talking about around late 70s or early 80s here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And so I got this record, and he wrote it, Son of a Gypsy. I come rolling in the Memphis, TWA, tell all the ladies, Handsome Jimmy. I'm a rocker and a roller, a little funky too. Yeah, tell all the chickies, Boogie Woogie's on its way. Whatever it was, I don't even remember it now.
I think you can find that video on YouTube.
Oh yeah, brother, dancing and I got a story about that too. The night before that happened, I tell you, my ankle was swollen like this. I'm telling you, it's triple. And the night before, me and Billy Dundee, superstar, we was wrestling the Bounty Hunters and in Lexington, Kentucky. And brother, that's an 8-hour ride back. No, I don't care how you look at it. And I iced it down, had it up on the thing. The next morning, Jimmy Hart's going to pick me up at the hotel, and with the tuxedo, white patent leather shoes, and tails on the tuxedo, the hat, the works, man. We went somewhere, and I took a picture with a lion cub, man. I don't know what he had the whole day planned, and we was going to do that concert of my record. And you're right, it was before MTV, brother.
Yeah.
It was before that, and he says, this is going to be the hottest thing ever, because this is how music is going to be promoted. He's seen Jimmy Hart is so sharp, so smart.
I've heard it. A lot of people say that.
And my leg was so swollen. And anyway, we taped it up, man, and Ace bandaged it, and we stuck that size 13 white patent leather boot on some way, and wrapped it up and put them tucks on me. And I didn't get to go to bed, man. I couldn't even shower, man. I just came off that drunk. I was drunk too. I just tripped on that. I came off that trip drunk. No. I came out anyway. I got there and we went straight to the Orphan, the theater. And brother, that afternoon we had the concert. And I did that sucker, man. Played the song, sung the song. and it was a hot thing, and I'm dancing, boy. Of course, I had me a little pain pills and stuff.
Right.
But then that night I had to wrestle. Oh man, you know, so that night we got 4 or 5 stories going here, man.
Well, but a quick point to make, back in those days, in the territory days, if you didn't wrestle, you didn't get paid. There was no guaranteed contract.
No, sir. And you had to show up, and because on the marquee out there, you know what it says, big man. You know, it says, hey, handsome Jimmy Valiant wrestling the Jerry the King Lawler tonight, main event, whatever. And hey, and you think Jerry's going to give money back, or Dick the Bruiser, or Vern Gagne, or nobody's going to give them. They never cancel a show. You got to show up. And I don't care if you're sick. Hey, I've broken fingers or fractured them. We would actually take a popsicle stick and stick there and tape the two together with the other good finger and go wrestle, man. You know, you did that.
Hey, Boogie Woogie, you look like yourself.
It's been a long day, brother.
You want your usual?
Let me have my usual, baby.
There you go.
Thank you, bro.
Because it'll put a little boogie in your woogie. Woo, must have been good, baby. Yeah.
You know, and hey, if you got a hangnail now, some of the guys, I don't know. I'm not saying, but you know, man, they're out for a week or something. But you just did it. You did it, no matter what, you know. But yeah, that night I showed up, and there's no way to get around this sucker, man, because I'm limping. I can't. So the boys honestly carried me to the door. You know, they helped me put my stuff on, carried me to the door. I still got a tuxedo on. We came from the concert straight to the show. You know, it was in Missouri or somewhere, you know, next to Memphis, close, or Arkansas. I can't remember where it was. And so they helped me all together, and the house is jam, man.
Yeah.
And I'm wrestling Lawler. So I get out there, and they stand me up by the door, and so the security's around me, and you know, as soon as I hit the door, I stop, you know, and some kids come running up, and I start signing right by the door where I'm going. I can't walk.
Right.
I cannot walk, brother, on that sucker, and I'm signing that, and Lawler comes around. He was the heel, I was the good guy at that time, and he comes around, he's gonna pro harm me, and the security seen him, and they get all the kids out of the way real fast, so they're out of danger, and he hits me with the chair, and bang, and he starts beating my foot, my leg, and now, man, you know, now he drags me to the ring, and now, I didn't gotta get up or nothing, because I'm hurt anyway, and he's on it, and he's working it, and so we had the match, you know, got it, and without even honestly standing up, we had the match, and just boom, 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 in some way, whatever, he got disqualified.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got through it.
Oh, we got through it. We had to.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we did it, brother. That's how we did it, and kept going, you know. But hey, I don't know what their story was. I was going on with 4 or 5 stories there, but anyway, what else you got?
Well, you kind of following along the timeline, because I was going to ask you a lot about Memphis, like, and when you were, you know, when you were in Memphis. Now, Memphis was a nightly territory, but you ran Memphis itself on Monday nights, right?
Right.
That was your big. You did TV on Saturday, but what was the travel schedule like? I know you went to Evansville and like Louisville.
400 miles.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. So kind of walk me through.
Okay.
Through
Everybody stayed when they worked that area. They stayed in Nashville.
Okay.
That was central, and you could do shots and be home more. Lawler, Jimmy Hart. In fact, in 1980, I was there a year when Lawler got his leg broke. And I was the king.
That really hurt the business.
Yeah, oh, it did. It sure did. And they brought me in and presented me his crown, and I was the king, and I was was the man. I was the third king. First king was Jackie Fargo, a fabulous one, and then Jerry King Lawler, and then I became the king until he got his leg back, and he broke it real bad.
Yeah, how did you do that?
Playing football, playing football on Sunday. And Jerry was so mad at him.
I bet you he was.
Oh, brother.
That was his top box office attraction.
Oh, you bet. Oh, brother, man.
Yeah.
And Lawler can do, I just love Lawler. He do anything. I made so much money with Lawler. People that not Tennessee or say, brother, hey, you're going to starve there. Well, maybe with Nick Goulas, but not with Jerry Jarrett and Lawler. Hey.
I've heard that. I've heard people say that about the Memphis territory, that they would starve people out of there sometime. But like you mentioned Nick Goulas, I've heard that about that territory really didn't pay that well. But I mean, you were in Memphis a long time, and Memphis stayed around longer than any of the other territories.
Sure
so
did.
It couldn't have been that bad. A lot of those rumors had to be exaggerated.
Yeah. No, because what you said, where we at in Memphis territory, when Jerry Jarrett took over, him and his mother, so what happened there, Monday we were in Memphis, and I always lived in Memphis myself, so I was a Memphis boy, and so in fact, I was born in Tennessee. I was born in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Yeah, I read that online.
The gospel, man.
I'm going to bring it up since you did.
No, I'm going to tell you, it's the boy from New York City, but I was raised in Hammond, Indiana, far north as you can get. So I was up there in Hammond. Hey, you could be downtown Lupus, Chicago in 30 minutes from Hammond. Right on Lake Michigan, man. So close to to Chicago, Illinois. So Hammond, I was the only boy there, being raised. I was there, we went there in 1945. My dad went in to join the Army, because, or Navy or whatever, and because it was wartime, and everybody was going because Pearl Harbor and everything, and they said, man, he says, Cruz says, Jim, his name's Jim, and my father, he says, how many children you got at home? He says, I got 5. He says, you go home. I got children right now. He says, you go home. That's what you need to do,
Right.
So he wanted to join. He wanted to help. And so when he did that, he couldn't make a living. We were farming. He built his farm. We were all born in Tennessee. And so he took the train to Chicago area there and got a job with Ford Motor right away, man. And he went to 3rd grade. He couldn't read or write.
Right.
God bless him. But they loved them Southern boys. Because you'd get a good day's work. They were come off the farm, man.
Yeah.
My father. And so he worked, man, and he worked 2 weeks and got money. And he told the foreman, the boss, he says, please let me off Saturday, Sunday, and because they were working, it's wartime. They weren't making cars in 45. They were making, army stuff. Okay. So he said, let me off the next 2 days. I'm going to get my family. I'm coming back. I'll be here Monday morning. And he said, I'll never miss again. And he did, brother. And he took took a car. He bought a car. Drove. He took a train up there. Drove back. Got the family. And boom, and brought. I got 4 sisters all over. I was a baby.
Yeah.
And the 5 of us, we all went there, and that's where we ended up in Hammond, Indiana. And he commuted Hegwas. It's right on the Illinois line. So Hegwas was these assembly plant for it. Anyway, so that happened, and
I'm kind of a geography nut. How close is that to Holman, Indiana? Do you remember?
Holman, there's a Holman Avenue.
Okay. There's not an actual Holman town, Indiana? Okay. I'm reading a book that describes a town home in Indiana. I'm trying to figure it out if it really exists.
There's a Holman Avenue. We lived on Holman.
Okay.
That's the main drag. Holman Avenue is the main drag in Hammond. Goes right through Hammond. I went to all my schooling. I was there. I go to school, I start with them, so they don't know that I'm a Southern boy. Hey, I was the only boy up there eating cornbread and biscuits and beans 3 times a day, man. Living because we're country people.
Yeah.
Fried taters, man. But they took me as a Hoosier, Hoosier, and like an Indiana boy. Now, if you came in from Kentucky or Alabama or Tennessee, at, like 3rd, 4th grade, and they knew, well, here's the new guy here, and you're from this. Then they call them hillbillies and whatever. They tease them, whatever.
Yeah.
But hey, they took me for an Indiana boy. But hey, I'm just old hillbilly, Hey, brother. But anyway, I fit right in with the boys, and it was all good. I played football and just had a ball, and then I started wrestling real early. But
So you did it in high school. You were an amateur wrestler before you
wrestled, and I wrestled in the basement. I wrestled, like the backyard stuff.
Right.
But we did it in the basement, and I just. What happened? I'll tell you what happened, brother. I was like 10, 11 years old, and I seen this thing in the back of a magazine, of Atlas, Charles Atlas, and it showed a little cartoon and 6 little pictures, and one guy's he's real skinny, and a big He-Man pushes the kid down and takes his girl and kicks sand in his face.
Oh, yeah.
And then it shows, hey, if you want to be a He-Man, build strong muscles in 2 weeks, and send 10 cents in and get this course, and it was dynamic tension, and we're actually, I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was you take it, there's nothing to do. You take it and you push down with this arm and you pull up with this arm. You're resisting yourself, see? And boom, and you do it all different ways, and that was the course. But boom, and then the
But it
next
worked.
summer, yeah, it works. It works better than nothing. And then so then that what got me started, and I said, oh man, I stared at it, and I looked, I said for it, brother, and I said, that one special little ad, just changed so many young boys' life, and brother, you're looking at one right here.
Wow.
Right here, because I said, Dad, how did they build these muscles in that? And he was a millwright at Ford, and he says, son, there's some big ball bearings, big ones, and he said, I'm gonna weld the handle on one, I'm gonna bring it home to you. And he did, and when he brought that home, and we got it weighed, and it was like 17 pounds, and I didn't know what to do with it, and I just did all kinds of crazy stuff with it, and did the curl, whatever, and did my squash, whatever, everything. And it was, I was the happiest person in the world. And I worked out till everything was burning every night. And then I jumped down and do 25 push-ups, and I jump in the bed, and my heart goes, and I just drift off and just dream about, wrestling. I love wrestling then, wrestling, and I dream about big muscles, and I've been working out since I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Still working out. Now my bicep dropped and my shoulders shot, and I got arthritis. I can't even do. But at least I do something.
Right.
Not full range movement, but I do something, and very light, But I do something every day. Hey, 11 o'clock. I got up at 11 o'clock, brother, yesterday, and almost midnight. And I worked out before I left.
Yeah.
And I knew I got a double shot today, and who knows what. Hey, this is going to be like a 30-hour day, man, before I lay back down. And then I got to, go to camp, man, my camp Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you more about that later. But guys, if you hadn't before, Google this man and look at the pictures of him around 1980. And dude, you were cut. I mean, I know you were a gym rat back in those days. I mean, just it amazes me. Man, my wife. We'll get to this in a second. Because after Memphis, I believe you came to the Carolinas. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what? Let me ask you about that real quick. So I guess everything's cyclical, right? Business was good in Memphis. You and Lawler were selling. You know, how many people could you put in that Mid-South Coliseum? About 10,000?
Yeah, 12, 13.
And that was a weekly territory.
It was, and we sold out, brother, man, and it was the best payoff. If you sell out with Lawler or you're on top, and they give you $1,000, brother.
For one night.
Yeah, one night. The next night, if you sell out Louisville, that's $500. You go to Evansville, if you sell out on top now, you get $250. And then I was working for Bruiser for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you know, it was amazing. I was working.
And that was in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, and all he man would work at two spots. You would work maybe Terre Haute Thursday and maybe Friday. Maybe Fort Wayne. Or vice versa, that's what it was. Anyway, Fort Wayne, and then Saturday there was a big club, you know, so you could make your 1,000. You know, you could be in either Chicago, which was the amphitheater, or you could go to Indianapolis. We work at the Expo, or you'd be in Hammond, Indiana. That's where my hometown. And brother, they didn't know who I was.
Right.
I went to Hammond Tech, right next to the Hammond Civic Center, and they thought I was handsome Jimmy Valiant from New York, and they're spitting at me, they're trying to burn me with cigarettes, they're throwing hot coffee and beer on me, and I'm just going to the ring, bro. You know what I mean?
That's before you've done anything.
Nothing, man. Oh man, they're giving me the finger. I don't know what they're doing. They hated me, man.
Yeah.
You dirty, And just like when I first went into Memphis, it's so funny, you know, big man, I was with Bruiser and Jerry calls him and says, "Hey man, I need a top heel there, you know, to Lawler's going to retire and go into music with, you know, and he's going to give his belt up. We're going to put it up in the round robin, and this is how we're going to shoot this big angle." And he says, and the winner of that gets a shot, you know, at the title or whatever, or takes the title.
Right.
Okay. Takes Lawler's title. So I go there just for one night, and when I get there, but first of all, I did a interview, you know, and I'm talking to all here I am from Tennessee. All my people, my brother, my uncle, my aunt, all my cousins, Tullahoma, Winchester, Estill Spring, right, all that Manchester.
And they were getting Memphis TVs.
Oh yeah, they were. Okay. But here I am, and I'm knocking Tennessee. I said, hey, all you wick, you know, the tobacco chewing, you know, you just hillbillies, man, oh man, I just ate them up, you know, just knocking. I said, one horse town, Memphis, Tennessee, and I said, I'm from New York, the Big Apple, the Big Light. I said, I'm coming in there and I'm going to beat everybody in the tournament. I'm going to take that belt back to New York. And I really put the people down, and it's my people. I love Tennessee. I love my people. And, you know, of course, my family, you know, and they're still in Tennessee. You know, my sisters, oh my goodness, everybody.
I'm always willing to bleed for you.
Sometimes you can't afford a hotel, and you have to sleep wherever you can. Sometimes you have to ride with people you don't like.
Sometimes when you're in a car.
Dude, really? Come on, man.
But so I sent that interview in, and they loved that. So when I got there, I got the very first match they put on, because it was a tournament, and if you lose, you're out. And if you win, you get another shot, and it's a round robin tournament till the final two.
Mm-hmm.
So and they flew in different big stars. They flew in Jack Briscoe they flew in Bobo Bazile from Sheik's territory, and Swayze, Bruce Swayze. Bruce. He flew in him. Oh, and they flew in Mr. Wrestling. Now this was Dickie Steinborn, not the other, but he's a top hand man.
Yeah.
So here they flew in me. The rest was the stars in Memphis, their territory. So we're all there, but they got the new guys, 4 or 5 new guys. And
what year is this again?
This is 1970. I'll tell you exactly. It was 3 weeks before Elvis died. It was the 1st of August of 1977, or 2 weeks. A couple of weeks later, Elvis died. Whatever. 17th he died.
Yeah.
So this was the first week. The first Saturday in August of 1977.
Wow.
Yeah, check it out. But hey, check it out, brother. Just
Use your Google machine.
Yeah, use it, man. Hey, it's all there. It's all history, man. It's documented. So I go in, and the number one, babyface. I mean, their hero is superstar Billy Dundee. And he just lost to Lawler the week before, and had his head shaved, and then they shaved his wife's head the next week or whatever. And so Lawler, I beat everybody. I've done everything. Here's the bell. Hey, I forget everything. I'm gonna go to music, do my music, because there's no whatever. So that was the deal. So I come in. So they put me with Dundee. Well, you got it, man. Dundee, he's the number one guy there now, next to Lawler. Lawler was top, and he was right there with them. They were main eventers, and so I look at them, and I said to myself, okay. And they said, this is our star right here, the superstar. And so he says, what we're going to do is just go out there the first match and see what's going on. And so what happened was the first match, me and him went out, and we tore the house down. Tore the house down. We went 10 minutes. All the matches was 10 minutes because they had so many matches.
Right.
To do this. But except the main event, once the two go in, then they had a 60-minute time limit.
Right.
Okay, the main event for the belt. So I go in, and we go. We went through Broadway, and which a 10-minute time limit, guys. It went through. The bell rang, and Dundee just whooping my. I'm flying, man. I'm doing everything. Boom, boom. But we tore the house. The people stood up, and they hated the interview. First of all, because I put them down so much, and all the hillbillies, and all that. And I said, and so Dundee then. If you went through like that, and Paul Morton, which is Ricky Morton, rock and roll's father, he was a referee, so he flips a coin, and he called it, boom, and bang, and he picks it up, he said, no, but then, and raises my hand. He lost, so I come back. Yeah, so he's out, but he's good, see, because he just kicked my can. I just flew man forward. No, not at all. But I got heat, big comeback, boom, and run out of time. Okay. And then, so then I wrestled another guy, we went over him, and then I got a bye, I got a one rest thing, another run co, and another one. Then the semi was me and Bobo Brazil, and that was the semi for me, and the wrestling, Dickie Steinborn. Which was the wrestler. He came out with the white hood on, white everything. So he, Mr. Wrestling, his thing, he wrestled Briscoe. So that was the two semis. So I went over Bobo, man, they ate me up, man. And Jerry, you know,
Oh, yeah.
so he went over Briscoe, and I was there just to do what they did, to go home back to Bruiser, you know. But they said, "Can you come back, man?" You know, I said, "Brother, you got to talk to Bruiser. You know, he's my boss." But I said, "We never worked nothing on Monday. Mondays we're off, you know, on his territory." And I said, "Chances are great, man." He says, "Oh man, great." So boom, boom. So anyway, so I come back against Steinborn, and we go about 30-something minutes, man, and boom, and man, I screw him, man, and boom, bang, 1, 2, 3, and I'm the champ, and I grab it. I do an interview. I'm not on TV Saturday because I'm with Bruiser, you know, somewhere in Indiana and Illinois, and I do an interview before I go back with Lance Russell in the dressing room. I says, you know, hey, I'm taking this back to New York, man, and you people. Now that's not fair. Hey, handsome Jimmy, you know, you got to at least come back and defend it, you know, here, you know, one time. And I said, okay, I'll do it one more time. And I says, it don't matter, you know, who it is or whatever. So they says, well, I think we should do it again, you know, with Mr. Wrestling. So I said, well, hey, I said, but I ain't doing it no more. Boom. So I leave, you know, and boom, sell out next time.
Yeah.
But Lawler, at the same time, he says, I'm going to come out on stage, and we're going to have a free concert, and I'm going to sing my latest, he had a couple records out too, before I did, you know, because I did Son of a Gypsy later with Jimmy Hart. So he says, I'm going to come out and I'm going to give a concert in intermission. So that was a big thing too, and everybody said, but I'm done wrestling and I'm just doing this for all the fans, and it was good. It was packed.
Wrestling fans out there listening to this know what's about to happen.
Yeah. So he's going to do that. So I come out, you know, and Jimmy Hart, you know, is out there, and he plays it because he can sing, and he plays a couple songs and sings. And they had the Carter sisters. One married Jerry Lee Lewis years later, and they were just young girls, you know, teenagers, and they were doing backup, and the Gentrys were there, and they were singing their Jimmy Hart, and it was really cool. But I go in and I stop it. I said, wait a minute. I said, man, you all, man, here, hey, nobody want to hear you guys sing or Lawler sing. Lawler's not out there yet, you know. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear handsome Jimmy. I got sunglasses on, and you know I'm strutting with that blonde hair, and they had black lights, man. I just glowed, you know, and you know, and I'm standing there, you know, really cocky, man. And he says, geez, he says, you can't do this, man, you know. And I grabbed the mic. I says, hey, you know, the hot song at that time was you took this hillbilly song. I says, hey, all you hillbillies, I'm going to sing you a hillbilly song because you wouldn't understand, you know, New York stuff, man, you know. But I says, and the hot song then was with the Kenny Rogers singing, you took a fine time to lose me.
Lucille, yes, I know that song very well.
Yeah, that's what the truck driver said. That's what he was saying when he was driving down the road. He said, you took a fine time to leave me, loose wheel. But that was the hottest song out, was Lucille. And I said, hey, and I turned to the band, and them little Carver's sister was just, man, they were just almost freezing, crying, man. And oh God, man, what's going to happen? And I asked the band, hey, y'all know the song, you know? And at that time, here comes Jared and the police and the security and everybody, and said, you can't, handsome, this ain't your time. This is Lawler's time. You're going to have to leave. And he said, I said, oh man, I didn't want to sing for these hillbillies anyway. Here, and I just dropped the thing and walked off, and they walked off. And then Hart picked it up, and he said, hey, y'all ready for the king, are you? And he got him going. Are you ready? Hey, I said, are you ready for the king? And it jumped. Brother, it just exploded.
Yeah.
I mean, they switched him like that. He's the hottest baby face ever, you know, because, oh my goodness. and they wanted to hear him and sing and that. And they said, and Lawler came out and he sang one little song, and then he said, he picked the guitar up and he sat down. He said, I'm gonna play now my new hit, you know. So he starts drumming and the band playing and he's doing, and he starts going to go like that. And brother, I came out and I grabbed that guitar from him and I hit him in the back of the head, and he just exploded.
Yeah.
And went down, he's bleeding. I put the boots to him, and here comes the security, here comes Jared, everybody. They pulled me off, and man, they got me out of there, and Lawler, they just carried him out, brother, just bleeding.
Yeah. And this is it. Was this at the Mid-South Coliseum?
You bet.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So you got a stage set up.
Stage set up purposely in the back, and everybody turned around and gathered around and looked from the balcony at that. Yeah, it was great and real fast. And here's how the angle. This is how we started. And then that night I did another interview, and he said, they pleaded with me, please, one more time, just one more. We promise, please, just come one more time, and I to bring your belt and defend it. And I said, one more time, brother. And I said, I'm never coming back. I said, I'm coming back to Memphis, this hillbilly, one-horse town, one more time.
Now, this is the Southern title, is that?
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
Okay.
So I leave. I'm going back to New York. I'm coming back. I'll be here next Monday night, and that's it, brother. I don't care who it is. It could be Andre the Giant. It could be Mickey Mouse. You pick anybody you want. I don't care. So the whole hour of that wrestling live in Memphis TV was, who am I going to wrestle? And all the stars, please let me wrestle Hanson, Jimmy, you know, everybody wants a shot, you know, and then all of a sudden, Lawler came out.
Wow.
And he said,
they were throwing babies in there.
There it is. He said, let me wrestle.
Yeah.
He's coming back. Say, hey, no. He's got my title. Nobody does that to me, but he did. Nobody leaves me in my pool of blood. Nobody, you know, and he's got stitches in there. And brother, they zoom in on there, and he's actually they sewed him up, brother, while I hit him with that guitar. And boom, of course, sellout, brother. Next week, bang, and we went from there. And hey, for 6 months, me and Lawler wrestled either singles in every kind of match you could think. Tar and feather, the cage,
so much of that stuff on YouTube. It's incredible.
Oh, brother,
I mean, you know, and that was a really violent feud. Didn't you break a bottle over his head one time?
Oh, I did. You know, he burnt me. And this is all in this time, this 6 month thing.
Yeah.
He had a shot with, 2 shots with the world champion, which was Harley Race, and for the next 2 Mondays, and the Monday before that, he threw fire on me and burnt me, man, and oh man, got me good, burnt my whole face over here, and I had it patched up, and it was red and bleeding and bing, and I did an interview before I left, and I said, right in the camera, I said, Jerry Lawler, nobody does this to Hanson Jimmy. Nobody does this. And I said, I'm going to tell you something, brother. If I see you on the street, brother, I'll run you over with my car. If I see you eating in a restaurant, I'll stab you with the knife, man, or a fork. I said, hey, you're mine. Hey, you're dead. You know, I said, turn that camera off. I'm no freak. And it was just terrible looking, you know.
Yeah.
And I went home. And so the next week, Memphis was red hot. It was so hot. Sellout, of course, with
and on Monday night too. That's a work and a school night.
You know,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. And think of this: Madison Square Garden, the biggest. At that time, it was held just 23,000 people. But that was and they sold out, of course. But you know, there's 12 million people in all the boroughs.
And they only ran once a month at Madison Square Garden. You guys were running every week.
And so we outdrew them, money-wise, people-wise, everything.
Yeah.
Because you figure up 13,000 people 4 times a month instead of 23 one time a month. You understand? Hey, it was the hottest thing going.
It was.
Yeah, so it was great. real fast, with the bottle thing, they went through with Harley Race. Him and Harley went to a 60-minute draw. So the next week they says they're going to start put them on real early during the middle of the card, and they're going to go for an hour and a half.
Okay.
You know, so someone's going to get that title in an hour and a half, and they went over an hour, and I'm not on the card. I flew in though, you know, myself. And brother, and I didn't go in the dressing room. I took the cab and I gave them money. I says, brother, and they let me in the back gate, you know, and I says, brother, don't you leave, man. And I told the guard, don't let him leave. I just gave him $100. And I says, you keep that meter running, brother. I said, I'll be right back. And I said, don't, and he did. He stayed right there, of course, and the guard's going to watch him too. And because I had to get out, I knew I was going to get that Lawler, brother, you know, for doing this. So after they were going, and just as Lawler had him beat, I grabbed, and I didn't go down where the bad guys would walk down. I went down the other aisle. I snuck down there, and I grabbed the trash, and there was a big quart bottle, man, of something. I don't know what it was, beer or something. But it was not. And I ran down that aisle, and nobody's expecting the good guys aisle, you know. And I ran in, and boom, and it just splattered. It cut my hand, brother.
Yeah.
And he just bleeding here. And then I picked up the neck of that bottle and picked him up, and I ripped him across the chest here, and then I ripped his arm, and it was serious, brother.
Yeah.
And left him here. And then, oh man, people started
Now you
throwing.
gotta get out of
oh
there.
yeah. They're coming out. The police are they're fighting, brother, fighting. And here comes you know, the Dundee. Here comes everybody. And Jared and the cops and the security, and I'm fighting, and I finally, luckily, Dundee was chasing me, and you know, I'll get him, man, and I made it out, and I ran right on that thing, and left Lawler laying, and they zoomed in on all the glass, and Harley Race got up even and came to Lawler's thing, and I knocked him, boom, and he took a big bump, man, and boom, and I'm out of there. Anyway, got in the cab, boom, right to the airport, boom, took that red eye right to Indianapolis, you know, where I was at, for Bruiser, and all the lights came on, and the people wouldn't leave, and oh man, you see him crying, and it got silent. It got just white heat, man.
Jimmy Valiant, Boogie Woogie Man.
Legendary Boogie Woogie Man.
Wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute. Hang on.
What are you doing around
What was that
here?
calling you, bud?
This is
that
our
Jerry?
neighborhood.
You done made a young man's game.
You should be retired, Boogie.
Wait a minute, boys. Let me take a bite of my king dog.
You say King Dog?
King Dog?
Is that what he said?
What happened?
Come on, boy.
Don't let hunger bully you. Get yourself a king dog, and you too can become a super hunger fighter.
And here comes, yeah, but
So
I'm gone.
You're
I'm
teetering
gone.
on the edge of a ride.
Oh, you bet. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I would have been, brother.
Yeah.
But then it just got there, and all of a sudden, man, the door opens up, an ambulance comes in, and they bring him out, and they took him to the hospital, and they sewed him up. And again, the next Saturday, they actually zoomed in and seen the cat got stitches in him, you know,
Yeah.
in his arm and his chest, and he's got them scars today, brother. And I still got the scars on him, from him. But that was the hot. Then now here we go, taking off again. Hottest thing. Now they want to. Oh, the police. They're saying, do you want to charge them? And you know, we can. This is really. We can get them. You know, if you charge them for whatever. You know, honestly, I was trying to kill them, man, because they got it on the tape. If I see you in a restaurant, if I see you in the street, I'm gonna kill you, brother. but they said, no, I'll take care of blah, blah, blah. And then Jared wanted to just, find me and suspend me and never let me again there in Memphis. But Lord, no, let me have him. And then Jared comes to his senses too. He says, geez, I can't do that because we're going to lose all this money. Everything's about money, brother. And so it worked, and boom, here we go again. Big hot thing, and it was great. It was great, brother.
Incredible. Like, I know we got time constraints, but I wanted to ask you, you transit, after Memphis, you came to the Carolinas, right? Is that right? Am I right? Okay, and you came into Crockett Promotions, and I got to tell you, I mean, I could go back on Peacock and watch the Mid Atlantic now. Man, you came in here on fire. And had you ever spent any time in the Carolinas? Boy, you had spent time in the Carolinas in the late '70s as King James, right, with Lord Alfred Hayes.
Right.
But then you were gone for a while, so everybody forgot. But then you come back as the Boogie Woogie Man. Is that right?
I reinvented myself. Exactly.
And it's amazing. Like the first time you appear in that studio in Charlotte, those people go freaking crazy, and you were just white hot from the outset.
Yeah. Well, you got to be different. I knew this always, and for one thing, I threw my razor away, and instead of handsome, I look around, there's blonde, strutting, pretty boys everywhere. Flair, Buddy Landale, I mean, everybody, so many, and I said, man, and I'm getting older, and I said, hey, I'm gonna do something else, and so I threw the razor away, man, grew the long beard. I said, what else can I do? I said, I go come out to music. So instead of, I was coming out to music to Son of a Gypsy, my own music in Memphis when I was a good guy, and then when I started doing that, Lawler sees that, and Dundee sees that, and all of a sudden, a few weeks later, they're coming out to music. Everybody, you see. Yeah. So, which is cool. And I come there now, and I got over so strong, and with this music, but we used boy from New York City, Manhattan transfer, because I was from New York City. I told them, and I'm the boy from New York City, and the Boogie Woogie Man, but I'm still Jimmy Valiant. And instead of handsome Jimmy Valiant, now I'm the Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. So they associate. The other one, they didn't associate King James. Yeah. And I brought Lawler's crown with me, and so I stole the crown when I left. He had to get another crown, man, and so I had a robe on, man, the king, and I had it was good. And Lord Alfred, I was so fortunate to have all the great managers, starting out with Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan, the best, man, and then the Grand Wizard Ernie Ruff, the best, brother, and then it was Captain Lou Albano.
Oh, really? Captain Lou managed you too?
Yeah, brother, yeah.
He's managed everybody.
Oh, yeah, brother, yeah. He managed me and Johnny Captain Lou, in fact, twice he did in New York in the 70s. And then I had Jimmy the Hard Snake manage me, Lord Alfred Hayes. Man, I had the greatest managers, in my career, and it's just been fabulous. But where were we going?
When you came into the Carolinas, you kind of changed your...
you got to be different. Yeah. And so I came out to music. I threw everybody got beards, but it's trimmed and everything. I just let everything go, man. Boogie Woogie. And then I said something else. I need one more kicker, man. Something that no one's doing or ever done. With the music, I'm gonna dance, they're gonna dance. I said, man, it gets people going. I'm gonna boogie woogie my legs, my elbows, man, I'm gonna cook can, man, and I'm gonna start kissing people. Man, I'd go in the audience, brother, I'd kiss woman, man, child, green, black, blue, purple. It didn't matter what color. I kiss grandma, grandpa, and you name it, brother, cousin, I kiss everybody, and I'd kiss the announcer. Tony Schiavone brother, he told me, he said, man, you made me on TBS, which was Channel 17, the Super. Brother, that went all over the world. He said, man, all they talk about is you kissing me, man. You're making me so famous, you know, from just, you know, but.
Do you listen to his podcast? He still talks about that to this day. It is hilarious.
you know, for one thing, who wants to kiss everybody? See,
Yeah.
so that's the, or like the what was the guy?
Bushwhackers.
Yeah, who wants to lick everybody, man?
Right.
Jeez, you know, so it's a crazy thing, but it's different.
Yeah.
You gotta be different, brother. Gorgeous George.
Good
he's
lesson
tough
for you
with
young
that.
wrestlers,
You
right?
bet. Oh, brother,
Yeah.
you gotta think. Hey, I was the first to start putting stuff on my tights. You know, I put on the back of my trunks, you know, the end or kiss my.
I saw you
know,
in a match from the 80s last night with those Kiss My.
there it is, yeah. And I have my names down here, Flames.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have stuff on my jacket. You know, I am, and then I'd have just a big star. I wouldn't spell it out. Just I am, and it's just a big giant star. I am a star. Oh, I am a star. See, and just I would just put stuff. I'd take his stuff and